So why Pisces laugh during arguments? I'm gonna tell you guys because it's deeper than you think. Now, another thing about this is the fact that when it comes to, put it like this, okay, so when it comes to us Pisces, all right, you could be in a situation where the Pisces could be upset, but maybe in some instances they're not upset. Okay, so what this means is that you could be in a situation, the Pisces just has their, the reasons why something's funny, believe it or not. Okay, now I'll give you guys a couple of examples. Now, a Pisces can feel overwhelming emotions. See, that a Pisces may oftentimes feel it in its abundance, so they can end up laughing instead of crying during a situation. And you might think, oh, Pisces, what is so funny? Oh, are you tickled by what just happened? Well, yeah. There's times a Pisces could be tickled by the situation. Like I say, they feel abundance of overwhelming emotions, okay? Now, let me turn this down, okay? All right, so another thing it could be is a defense mechanism. See, a Pisces can laugh knowing that can hide the hurt with humor, see? And humor is like the number one distraction. We all know this because when we used to be in class in school, a lot of people disrupt the class by, goofing around. Now, a Pisces may also find irony within a situation. It could be of anything, okay? A Pisces at times tends to surprise themselves by what is currently happening. Like, am I really arguing with this person? Or is this person really arguing with me? Or, hey, I'm just totally surprised by the mere fact that we're actually into it, or, whatever the situation may be. You could even look at a Pisces at times and see that their eyes, eyes get big, like a clueless type of expression. Now, another reason why Pisces can laugh during an argument is through nervous energy, okay? So they can laugh when they feel anxious. They can avoid conflict. That could be the reason why they may be laughing. They may also use this to soften the tension. They could also think it's absurd for the whole mere fact of you guys going back and forth. And that alone could make the situation feel unreal to a Pisces. Now, maybe a Pisces just doesn't want to escalate the situation. So they may oftentimes laugh to calm things down, because they notice that if things are at the heat of its peak or heat at the moment, they know that it possibly could. Now, another thing that a Pisces may feel that makes them laugh during an argument is they may go through that emotional overload of which I mentioned before. And a lot of times this can make their brain, short circuit to where they might not be thinking clearly or going about it just by the mere fact of arguing. As we know, arguing doesn't settle the score. And another thing is that maybe it could be a sarcasm response from the Pisces. Maybe they might feel like, oh, now you care enough to argue about, your of your situation or your side of the story. They could also feel misunderstood in such a way. So laughing, it also could be their, laughing at the whole misinterpretation of what they actually meant or what they actually said. They could also detach mentally, is why they could be, laughing during the argument where things get heated, and then all of a sudden they end up treating it like a movie. A Pisces may also find hidden humor within what, you guys are arguing about, something that you may said, a facial expression, or just by your pure look, itself. And even in serious talks, a Pisces can laugh. Now, another thing is they don't take ego fights seriously. A Pisces may oftentimes feel awkward even by arguing with you or putting, just being in the midst of it, so they can laugh to cope with it because everything feels awkward. They may mask their anger by, instead of exploding, they rather wear a smile to look more relaxed or just to, bring the energy down through that particular expression regarding that emotion. Another thing is that a Pisces thinks ahead, so they can see how pointless it is to go back and forth with you. They may oftentimes, they may not want to cry in front of you, so they laugh instead. Another thing is that they could be doing it because of the passive reaction, okay? So they may want to avoid confrontation altogether. They may be somewhat emotionally confused, so therefore they laugh because that's the default repositioning of a reset for themselves. They may oftentimes just not respect arguing to begin with, is why they're laughing about it. They can also think that you're projecting, so that keeps the smile, blocks the whole projection in itself. At least diminishes and limits its effect. Now, maybe the Pisces simply wants control of the situation, so laughter shifts the power, which it often does. They may feel numb inside, so they may have the inappropriate laughter, sort of like the villain and not the hero. They may also think it's childish to argue and to go back and forth. They can see the contradictions within, your nature, and they can find it funny. They can feel attacked, laughing instead of snapping. It keeps the self-control, keeps them from doing something that they may regret. They can also, laugh during an argument to avoid saying something harsh. Another thing is they probably just don't care anymore. That could be another reason why Pisces is laughing during an argument, testing your reaction to see what you would do, to see if you really are mad to begin with, to see if you are even serious about what you're actually saying in the argument. Therefore, they could be testing your reaction. They could, feel drained already. Laughing helps a Pisces, reset, gives them a little bit more juice regarding their mood. They can maybe just not want drama, so they want, laugh it out to decrease the hostility or the violence. So a Pisces may oftentimes simply just see the bigger picture within the whole situation, because argument could feel small to a Pisces. They may think that you're overreacting is the reason why they're laughing, or they could just be overall emotionally intelligent, and that itself diffuses the tension between two parties arguing one another. They could be hiding their tears. Maybe the laughing that makes them feel better, that keeps them from going so far to to crying. They could laugh because they feel cornered. They can laugh because they don't want to explain feelings, so they laugh instead. They may find that the whole timing of the series of events and the argument itself, or when it happened, to be ridiculous. They may feel the deja vu, okay, here we go again. We did this already. They may be simply laughing during an argument because they understand that it avoids guilt. Maybe they just don't want to lose control in the situation, is why they would rather laugh about it. Maybe they may feel misunderstood deeply, so laughing actually brings them back to the center, and it gives them puts them in a good mood. Maybe they just don't simply value the topic of which you guys are arguing about, so they laugh instead, sort of like changing the subject. Maybe they're just emotionally tired. Maybe they think the argument is predictable, like they can, feel what you're going to do or say next. They can be laughing at their own pain. Maybe they could be laughing that they've got themselves, this far to where maybe of just being themselves, oh, this ended up leading into something that I wasn't looking forward to. Another thing is laugh could be related to escapism within a Pisces. This could possibly be their exit strategy to begin with. Maybe they just feel like walking away. Therefore, a Pisces could just laugh just so they could just, do just that. Maybe they can laugh during an argument just to lighten their mood, to make them feel better. They could be protecting their inner peace by laughing during an argument. They could just want to avoid negativity altogether and just doesn't want to validate it. Maybe they feel attacked unfairly from whatever it is that you guys have a disagreement about, and the Pisces simply laughs during the argument between you guys regarding that. A Pisces may laugh during an argument because they don't want to hurt you. See, sometimes they could be taking themselves out of the equation. By doing so, they could think it's ironic to be arguing and going back and forth. They may feel detached spiritually. Maybe they just, like I say, maybe they just realize that, damn, I can't believe how deep this got. It could just feel like awkward intensity to a Pisces. They could feel exposed, so therefore they laugh during the argument. Also, laughing during an argument hides insecurities. They could also laugh during an argument because they don't like tension. They could laugh because it's better than yelling. When it comes to an argument, they realize that, oh, this provides, an emotional escape for me. Also, the Pisces may laugh during an argument to emotionally escape, not just mentally. Maybe they feel drained, so instantly they feel the need to laugh. Maybe they just don't want to take it personal, and this is the reason why they're laughing during the argument. They could feel like the whole situation at hand is temporary. Therefore, they are not allowing themselves or the situation to overtake them. They can also laugh during the argument simply because the energy mismatch. They felt the shift, and it's almost like predicted to the point where they are like, yo, this actually, I just saw this happen. So now that the energy mismatch has showed up, they're laughing about it. They can also think that you're emotional is the reason why Pisces may laugh, during an argument. They also can feel like it's a joke because that's the way it feels. It's almost like they're tickled by the whole sensation of just knowing that, oh, someone disagrees with me, and therefore, they heard something that I didn't like, that they didn't want to hear. And the Pisces could think it's funny. They may also just not see the whole situation of you two arguing seriously. They can laugh at their own confusion. They can feel distant while arguing with you already, so therefore they laugh to bring back their presence. They can also not argue because logic versus emotion, so therefore they feel the need to not take you seriously. They might be also laughing at the hypocrisy from you just being able to visualize, intellectualize, and to pinpoint those involved of why, or the 5 W's, like what, when, where, how this even came about, the people that, that were involved. And that alone, by Pisces being able to figure out the plot beneath it all, can make a Pisces laugh during an argument. They also can laugh during an argument because at just how far it went. Maybe a Pisces didn't think that it would that it would lead up to that. A Pisces can also laugh during an argument because deep down they're hurt, but they just don't want to show it. They could be using the laughter to emotionally retreat from the situation. And maybe the Pisces just simply laughs during an argument because they just want to not lose their composure. Maybe they just want to stay calm. Now, laughing to a Pisces is more related to a hot tub. See, it's like it makes a Pisces feel relaxed. It makes a Pisces feel comfortable. So in the midst of arguing with one, you probably will not be able to get the best of them like you think you would, because a Pisces will use that humor to keep themselves in that hot tub, to keep themselves to above, to keep themselves above it all. Okay. Now, another thing that Pisces may do is that they may laugh during an argument to confuse their opponent. Yes, indeed. They may also laugh to avoid emotional explosion from themselves, or for them, or from them overreacting in the situation. That could be the reason why they laugh. They could possibly be laughing during the argument because of the exaggeration between the other person and themselves. Maybe they're laughing because they want to keep the emotional control. And as you guys know, the laughing is also an illusion. So, as I always mention, an illusion outweighs a facade. So that could be another reason why. So yeah, now you guys got a understanding, a depiction of why does a Pisces laugh during an argument. Maybe you wanted to know why. Maybe the situation was awkward for you. Maybe you were just, puzzled that, hey, why is this person laughing when we're sitting here having a serious talk about, anything from family, friends, loved ones, mates, where, it could be anything that you got to see a smirk or the Pisces laughing about something serious, because it could be simple as, you scolding your Pisces for bad grades or for cleaning their room versus, them being up in age, and then all of a sudden you just have that talk with them about life, and you see that the fact that they're laughing, and you might feel like, oh, they're not serious, but you don't know what that Pisces is feeling, and that Pisces doesn't want you to know. And at times they will simply tell you if they feel comfortable or if they trust you. But if they don't tell you, then you just can't take it personal. So smash the like button. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I got the memberships available, so grab yourself a membership. I love y'all. Catch y'all on next one. Peace out.